You feel blame? Are you mad? Do you feel like Woosh Kebab
On August 8, 1969, police officers were called to a Beverly Hills home rented to film director Roman Polanski and his wife, the actress Sharon Tate. When they arrived at the scene, they found the bodies of the couple with multiple stab wounds. According to the officers at the scene, there were signs of struggle in the main house and the guest house in the rear.
Oh, it was horrific. I mean, it was one of the worst things I've ever seen.
The next day, police again received a report of a double murder in Los Feliz, Los Angeles. They found supermarket executive Lino LaBianca and his wife Rosemary dead in their home.
It was horrible. It was just horrible. There were young people. There were innocent people who were slaughtered by knives and guns, and it was awful.
Both cases initially went cold until a woman called Susan Atkins was serving time in jail in an unrelated charge, bragged about the murders, all under directions from the notorious cult leader, Charles Manson. They discovered that he directed 4 of his most devoted followers, including Susan Atkins, to kill whoever was at the Beverly Hills home. However, in the second operation, he accompanied the group to the house, but left before the murder started.
I wouldn't do anything that I felt guilty about. There's no need to feel guilty. I haven't done anything I'm ashamed of. Maybe I should have killed 400 or 500 people, then I would have felt better. Then when I felt like I really offered society something.
Manson and several family members were arrested.
If I wanted to kill somebody, I'd take this book and beat you to death with it, and I wouldn't feel a thing.
He was sentenced to 9 life sentences in prison. Number 3. Sue Sharp moved to Keddie in 1980 with her 5 children after separating from her husband. They lived in cabin 28 at the Keddie Resort. On the evening of April 11, 1981, Sue was home with her 2 youngest sons, Rick and Greg, along with their friend Justin Smart, while her other children were out. The older daughter, Sheila, was staying overnight at a neighbor's house. The next morning, Sheila returned home and discovered the bodies of her mother, brother John, and his friend Dana in the living room.
There was blood. There was blood on the car, on Sue's car. There was blood on the back stairs. There was blood on the back door.
The 2 youngest, Rick and Greg, and their friend Justin Smart, were unharmed in a spare bedroom.
Rick, Greg slept in one room. My mom, Tina, and I slept in another room. And Johnny, there was a basement downstairs. He got to sleep down there.
Sue's other daughter, Tina, was missing from the home, so they believed she was abducted. During the investigation, the murder weapons were recovered at the scene. Later, sketches of possible suspects were released to the public based on Justin Smart's recollection of the night of the crime.
No one is quite sure what happened on that April night in 1981, but police investigators believe the 2 boys may have been picked up by the suspects as they hitchhiked home from Quincy, 7 miles away.
However, the case hit a dead end and went cold. A little more than 3 years after the murders, someone collecting bottles in the woods about 100 miles from Keddie found the remains of the victims. Despite having 2 primary suspects at the time, Martin Smart, Justin's father, and his house guest, John Bubede, there was no solid evidence convicting them. The case is still unsolved. Number 2.
Wouldn't you be if there was a dead body in the water you were using and drinking?
It's kind of odd, the whole damn thing.
On January 26, 2013, Elisa Lam arrived in Los Angeles as part of a solo trip along the West Coast. She checked into the Cecil Hotel and was the last seen by a bookstore owner nearby who said she was buying gifts for her family. A week later, Elisa was supposed to check out of the hotel, but she never did. Growing concerned when she didn't return, her parents reported her missing.
This is, again, totally out of character for her not to be in daily contact with her family.
The hotel staff insisted that Elisa never checked out, and they couldn't find her anywhere in the hotel. After checking surveillance cameras, the LAPD released the footage that captured Elisa's last moments seen alive. She appears disoriented and afraid, pushing multiple elevator buttons, stepping in and out of the elevator, apparently hiding from someone or something, then talking to someone unseen outside the elevator.
It is the last images that we have of her, know of her presence in the hotel.
19 days after her disappearance, hotel guests complained about low water pressure, and someone said the water had a strange taste and color. When a hotel maintenance worker checked the water tanks on the roof, he found Elisa's body floating in one of them. Her clothes and belongings were found at the bottom of the tank.
Nearly 3 weeks after Elisa Lam went missing, a body has been found in a water tank on the roof of her hotel.
The autopsy report determined accidental drowning as the cause of death. Later, investigators uncovered that the levels of bipolar medication in her system were much lower than they should have been. When Lamb's personal belongings were checked, they found that she had a high number of pills in her possession, indicating that she may not have been taking her medication. This dismissed any signs of trauma or foul play. Number 1. We're in the Ramsey residence, the home of JonBenet Ramsey, an outgoing child beauty queen who won multiple beauty pageant titles. On the morning of December 26, 1996, her mother, Patsy, called 911 to report JonBenet missing.
Police! What's going on? 5515th Street. What's going on there, ma'am? We have a kidnapping. Hurry, please. Explain to me what's going on, okay? There's a note left and our daughter's gone. There's a ransom note here. Oh my God, please.
According to Patsy, she had found a ransom note that claimed JonBenet had been kidnapped and demanded $118,000, an oddly specific amount, nearly identical to a bonus that her father, John, had just received.
I always come down that staircase, and I'm usually the first one down. And the note was lying across the run of one of the stair treads.
Investigators found no signs of forced entry. For several hours, no one could find JonBenet. Eventually, John found his daughter's body in the basement, in a room that was used as a wine cellar.
One of the detectives asked me and my friend who was there to go through every inch of the house. Started in the basement. We have one room in the basement that there are no windows in that room.
The autopsy results showed that her death was intentional. Also, the forensic team discovered that the ransom note was written on a notepad and with a Sharpie marker that belonged to the family.
We were no longer looking at a straight kidnapping. We were looking at now a homicide.
Upon arriving at the Ramsey home, the Boulder Police Department made crucial errors as they believed they were investigating a kidnapping, so they didn't seal off the house as a crime scene until after JonBenet's body had been found.
This was not a hard case to solve. Shouldn't have been a hard case to solve. And that's what should have happened. And it didn't because they didn't have experienced people.
Suspicion fell on the Ramseys, particularly Patsy, due to the handwriting similarities to the ransom note. However, no solid evidence linked any of the family members, and they were officially cleared in 2008 based on DNA evidence. The case remains open.